The Galaxy S26 has just appeared on Geekbench with not one, but two different processors. And the results are already shaking up expectations for Samsung's next flagship. On one hand, we're looking at the world's first 2nm Exynos chip using Samsung's most advanced manufacturing process. On the other, we're seeing the same old conservative decisions that might leave long-time Galaxy Ultra fans seriously frustrated. In this video, we're going to break down everything we know so far about the Samsung Galaxy S26 and Galaxy S26 Ultra, based on the latest leaks and benchmark scores. We'll talk about the new Exynos 2600 processor, the Snapdragon 8 Gen 5 version, real performance expectations, and then dive into the controversial parts. The battery, charging speed, cameras, missing features like 3D face unlock and microSD, and Samsung's overall strategy. Let's start with the biggest headline. The Exynos 2600, the Korean version of the Galaxy S26, with the model number SMS942N, has officially been tested on Geekbench. This test unit was running Samsung's brand new Exynos 2600 chipset, listed under the model number S5E9965. The phone had 12 gigabytes of RAM and was running Android 16, which will almost certainly be paired with Samsung's upcoming One UI 8.5 skin by the time it launches. So what makes the Exynos 2600 such a big deal for the Galaxy S26 series? This is Samsung's first chip built on their 2nm GAA, Gate-All-Around manufacturing node. That's not just a marketing buzzword. Gate-All-Around is a more advanced transistor design than the traditional FinFET approach used in older chips. In simple terms, it lets Samsung pack more performance into the same space while reducing power consumption and helping with heat management. A smaller 2nm process with GAA usually means better efficiency and cooler temperatures, higher clock speeds, without throttling as quickly, more room for AI, graphics and camera processing within the same power budget inside the Exynos 2600. Samsung is using a 10-core CPU layout with ARM's latest high-performance and high-efficiency cores. According to Samsung's own claims, this new CPU should be up to 39% faster than the previous generation Exynos flagship chip in multi-core workloads. If that number holds up in real-world usage, that's a massive jump in performance. For the Galaxy S26 and S26 Ultra, the Geekbench listing also confirms that the Exynos 2600 comes with the Samsung Eclipse 960 GPU. This is where things get even more interesting for gamers and power users. Samsung says this GPU delivers 2x the computing power compared to the previous Exynos GPU, around 50% better ray tracing performance. Ray tracing is the advanced lighting and reflection technology you usually hear about on high-end gaming PCs and consoles. Getting significantly better ray tracing on a phone means more realistic shadows, lighting, and reflections in supported mobile games. It's also a sign that Samsung wants to push the Galaxy S26 as a serious gaming phone, not just a camera and social media device. Rumors suggest that this Eclipse 960 GPU is based on AMD's next-generation RDNA 4 architecture, which would be a substantial step up over the older RDNA 2-based graphics Samsung has used before. If true, this could finally make Exynos-powered Galaxy phones genuinely competitive with, or even ahead of, Snapdragon models in gaming for the first time in years. But of course, Exynos isn't the whole story. We also have Geekbench results. For the US version of the Galaxy S26, the American Galaxy S26, with model number SMS942U, is powered by Qualcomm's upcoming Snapdragon 8 Gen 5 chipset. The Galaxy S26 Ultra for the US market, model SMS948U or SMS948Q, depending on the variant, is also expected to use the same Snapdragon 8 Gen 5. So once again, we're looking at the classic Samsung split. Exynos 2600 for some regions, Snapdragon 8 Gen 5 for others, Korea. is almost guaranteed to get the Exynos version of the Galaxy S26 and S26 Ultra. Rumors also strongly suggest that Europe will receive the Exynos 2600 models too, but so far no European Galaxy S26 variants have appeared in public benchmarks. The Snapdragon 8 Gen 5 will likely be the chip of choice for North America and several other key markets. This means we'll once again have two very different versions of the same Galaxy S26 Ultra, depending on where you live. One Exynos, one Snapdragon, with slightly different performance, efficiency, and gaming behavior. It's important to remember, all of these Geekbench scores are from pre-release phones. The final performance will change as Samsung optimizes its software, power profiles, and thermal management. But the early numbers already give us a solid baseline of what to expect from the Galaxy S26 lineup in terms of raw CPU and GPU power. Now, while the Exynos 2600 and Snapdragon 8 Gen 5 are both exciting, not everything about the Galaxy S26 Ultra is making fans happy. Let's move on to the parts that are disappointing, and in some cases, downright frustrating. The first big complaint: battery capacity. Samsung is expected to use the exact same 5000 mAh battery in the Galaxy S26 Ultra that we've seen for years. That would make it the 6th Ultra in a row with a 5000 mAh cell. Galaxy S21 Ultra, Galaxy S22 Ultra, Galaxy S23 Ultra, Galaxy S24 Ultra, Galaxy S25 Ultra, and now Galaxy S26 Ultra 6 generations, same capacity. Meanwhile, several Chinese smartphone brands are pushing 6000 mAh or even 7000 mAh batteries in their flagship or upper mid-range models. With modern features like 4K and potentially 8K video recording on-device AI, processing high refresh rate QHD plus displays, always on displays, power-hungry 5G modems, people expect more than good enough battery life. They want all-day endurance. With heavy use, not just average durability that still forces them to reach for the charger by evening. To be fair, the new 2nm Exynos 2600 and next-gen Snapdragon 8 Gen 5 should be more power efficient than previous chips. That will help battery life. But there's no getting around the fact that Samsung is keeping the same 5000 mAh capacity while the competition is increasing theirs. Next missing feature, 3D Face Unlock. Apple launched Face ID back in 2017 with the iPhone X, and it's still one of the most secure and convenient biometric systems on any phone. Since then, brands like Honor and a few others have added their own secure 3D face recognition systems with infrared depth sensors. These modern 3D face unlock modules are small, fast, secure enough for banking and payments. They're not the big, bulky notches we used to see. Despite that, Samsung still refuses to bring a true 3D face unlock system to the Galaxy S series. Right now, you get Samsung's excellent ultrasonic in-display fingerprint scanner, a basic 2D face unlock option that's not secure enough for banking apps and can be tricked more easily. The fingerprint reader is genuinely great, fast, accurate, and reliable. But the obvious question is, why not offer both? A secure 3D face unlock system plus the ultrasonic fingerprint reader would give Galaxy S26 Ultra users the choice to use whatever they prefer in different situations. In 2026, this shouldn't feel like a luxury feature anymore. Another long-standing complaint: no microSD card slot. Samsung used to be one of the biggest supporters of expandable storage. But over the past few generations, they completely removed the microSD slot from the Galaxy S and Galaxy Note lines and have never looked back. With the Galaxy S26 Ultra, that doesn't seem likely to change. This is disappointing for a lot of power users, especially content creators who shoot 4K 60 FPS or 8K video, people who use log video profiles, or pro modes gamers installing massive AAA-style mobile titles, users who like to keep their entire music or media collection offline internal. Storage fills up quickly, especially as apps, games, and video files keep getting larger. Cloud storage helps, but it isn't always convenient. It depends on fast, stable internet. It uses mobile data when you're away from Wi-Fi, can be slow when you need to move a lot of files. A microSD card slot would allow Galaxy S26 Ultra owners to cheaply and easily add 512 gigabytes, 1 terabyte, or even more storage and physically move that data between devices. But Samsung seems committed to pushing users toward higher-priced storage tiers instead. Now let's talk about something more controversial. The S Pen. The S Pen is the defining feature of the Galaxy Ultra line ever since Samsung merged the Galaxy Note series into the S family. There's no denying that some users absolutely love it for drawing, signing documents, jotting notes, editing photos, and more.